Hi everyone. Today I'm going to continue on with my discussions of recent Criterion releases to coincide with the current November 2022 Barnes & Noble half-price Criterion sale. So today I want to talk about Eve's Bayou, and this is a film from 1997. It's directed by Cassie Lemons. It stars Samuel L. Jackson, who also served as an executive producer. This is Cassie Lemons' first directing job. She had been an actress. This is a low-budget film. She wrote the screenplay. And the screenplay is set in Louisiana. This is the early 1960s. And it's a very insular kind of world that we get involved in. There is a titular bayou. The bayou seems to serve as a source of protection, a source of mystery, a source of consolation for the characters in their more unhappy moments. And we quickly get a very strong sense of community. This is an all-black community, and it's a very happy and by all that we see in the movie, affluent community. So there's no other outside world. We just see this world. Now, that can be understandable because we're seeing the world through the eyes of basically Eve. The Eve is the 10-year-old daughter. There's also a 15-year-old daughter in a family that the father is a doctor. And these two girls idolize their father. So there is no outside world for these young girls to worry about, because the early 1960s was the time of the civil rights struggle. There is no mention whatsoever of that in the movie, and we get this sense of affluence in the opening scene where there is a dance at the family's house, and the beautiful costumes, suits, and dresses, and in late model cars, but we get a sense right from the beginning that though these two girls idolize their father has feet of clay, and he is a doctor, and he makes house calls. Doctors made house calls in the 1960s, and there may be more going on than just the doctoring house call. So how did these two girls adjust to that? And probably the most interesting aspect of the film is this family dynamics of two young girls having to face the realities of life, and their parents' happy marriage may not be so happy. But there's other interesting elements as well, because this is clearly meant to be a Southern Gothic story. So we have melodrama, and we also have a lot of dreams, we have visions, we have nightmares, all filmed in kind of a slow motion black and white. And the two girls' aunt is a fortune teller, but she seems to be and some real mystical level that involves could involve like Christian religion. But then in the town, it's not really a town. It's sort of like a open air festival that you would see in rural communities, where you see fruits and vegetables being sold, and you see other kind of amenities, including another fortune teller. This fortune teller is more voodoo, delightfully played by Diane Carroll. And some of her scenes, in her fortune telling mode, it paints her face white, so she can be very scary to these two young girls. So Eve is the younger of these two children, and she is played, and she's about 10 years old here. She is played by Jurnee Smollett, and she had already acted in movies. There is a younger brother in this family, and it is in fact Journey Smollett's younger brother. And she's going on to have a successful career. I remember seeing her in, what is it, Birds of Prey with Margot Robbie. And I think she's in Lovecraft Country, a series, a cable series. and um, and this is Cassie Lemon's debut film. Now, she was an actress as well, and she was in some famous movies, including Silence of the Lambs. I believe she was Jodie Foster's sidekick in Silence of the Lambs. And so this is a debut movie. It's a low-budget movie, and they really make this film look great. It's a 4K restoration, and it looks fantastic. And a slice of life that you would not ordinarily see in movies in this bayou country of Louisiana. And Cassie Lemon's has gone on too to continue success. Recently, she did a biopic called Harriet that I saw in the movies pre-pandemic, which is a biography of Harriet Tubman, which is very good. And soon to be released is I Want to Dance with Somebody, her biopic of Whitney Houston. So we get a 2002 commentary on Eve's Bayou, and let me just show you the inside. And in this commentary, you'll see 2 discs here. And in this commentary, we learn that there's 2 versions of this movie. There was a character in the original version that Cassie Lemon's made, a very vital character, but it upset the company that was releasing the movie. They wanted him cut out, and so they had to come up with some way. They actually had to use some early CGI techniques to get this character out of the movie. I think there was some other changes too. Now, Cassie Lemon says, I like this, the movie that was released, but somebody maintained kept the original director's cut. So this is from 2002. So I'm guessing this came out with this commentary came out with the DVD when it was released. And the commentary is Cassie Lemon's, the producer, the cinematographer, the first, I didn't write her name down, but I apologize for that. But this was her first feature film. She does a great job. And also the editor. And they basically talk shop. This is a talk shop kind of commentary where these 5 years later, 4 of the primary creators of the movie get together and talk about all the different problems they had and how they had to shoot this and shoot that and what they had to give up, especially with the 2 versions. Because this is the first time 5 years later that they're seeing the what's called the director's cut. And then we get interviews with from recent interviews with Cassie Lemon's, looking back now from, I guess, what would that be, over 20 years. And then with Terrence Blanchard, and he wrote the score to this film, a jazz musician who has written many scores, particularly with for Spike Lee's movies. The score here is very beautiful. It's a gorgeous score, and he talks about his relationship with Cassie Lemon's because he has also scored Cassie Lemon's subsequent movies. And we also get on the extras we get Cassie Lemon's short film. It's called Dr. Hugo, and this was actually a film that the producer of this film really believed in the film, the script. Cassie Lemon's had been shopping this film around, but with no takers. But this producer, again, didn't write his name down. He really believed in this project, but originally it was just going to be her screenplay, a different director. But then she said, I want to direct the movie, and he immediately said, yeah, go ahead, let's do it. But I want to see what you can do. So she made a short film that is sort of the basis of what Eve's Bayou came to be. So that's also on and that has been restored as well. So this is a very important movie, in the history of black cinema, because during the 1990s there was a revival in black cinema, but it was all male directors, urban settings, and basically stories of the hood, crime stories. This is a family drama, so, and made by a woman, which you know, was very unusual even in the 1990s. Okay, thanks a lot for everybody who managed to listen. I do appreciate it. Comments are always welcome. Take care.